Imagine an aircraft that doesn't just fly, it generates its own power while in the air. A machine so efficient, so radically engineered, that some experts are calling it the first true threat to the global fossil fuel aviation ecosystem. At the UAE Air Show 2025, Maxwell stunned audiences with what they claimed to be a self-powered aircraft, a concept many believed impossible. This video dives deep into what happened at the event, what makes this aircraft different, and why major oil producers are suddenly paying very close attention. The UAE Air Show has always been a stage for futuristic aviation, but this year something felt different. The excitement was sharper, the crowds larger, and the cameras more focused. Rumors had been circulating for months that Maxwell was preparing to unveil something industry-shaking, yet no one expected the scale of the reveal. As the hangar doors opened, a sleek, almost otherworldly aircraft rolled forward. Its wings shimmered with embedded reflective panels, its fuselage seemed to have no visible fuel ports, and its design language looked more like something from a near-future sci-fi film than a commercial prototype. Spectators leaned in, analysts scrambled to capture details, and within minutes, the images were circulating across social media with captions like, "A plane that powers itself? And this changes everything." But the real shock wasn't just the appearance, it was the demonstration flight that followed. Before we explore the flight, it's important to understand who Maxwell is. Known officially as Maxwell Aeronautics, the company burst onto the aviation scene only 7 years ago. Initially dismissed as overly ambitious newcomers, they quietly built a reputation for unconventional engineering approaches, especially in energy recapture systems, hybrid propulsion, and experimental materials. Unlike traditional aviation giants, Maxwell didn't rely on established designs. Their philosophy revolved around a single idea: energy should not be consumed, it should be cycled. They spent years experimenting with regenerative lift surfaces, micro-turbine arrays, and ultra-efficient superconductive circuits. Industry insiders often mocked them, arguing that self-powering aircraft were physically impossible. But Maxwell didn't back down. They kept testing, failing, refining, and repeating. And at the UAE Air Show, they finally unveiled what they claimed was the world's closest step toward that impossible dream. Maxwell didn't claim to have built a perpetual motion machine. Instead, they introduced a sophisticated combination of technologies designed to drastically reduce external energy requirements. At the heart of the aircraft lies a tricycle energy regeneration system built around 3 components. 1. Solar integrated aerodynamic skin. The shimmering wing surfaces weren't decorative, they housed ultra-thin, flexible photovoltaic layers. These panels were designed to harvest energy not only from direct sunlight but also from diffuse atmospheric light. Maxwell claimed these surfaces are 40% more efficient than any current aviation solar implementation. 2. Microturbine airflow recapture. Hidden within the fuselage and wing roots are miniature turbines that spin as air flows through internal channels during flight. These turbines convert airflow pressure into electrical energy, similar to recovering energy through regenerative braking in electric cars, but adapted for aerodynamics. 3. Superdensity graphene batteries. Every bit of captured energy feeds into experimental graphene-based battery modules. These are lighter than lithium cells and can release energy faster, allowing the aircraft to maintain steady propulsion during peak demand. None of these systems alone can self-power a plane, but together, Maxwell claims the efficiency gains are enough to extend range dramatically and reduce external charging to near zero during cruise phases. When Maxwell's aircraft lifted off during its demonstration flight, the crowd fell silent. The takeoff wasn't explosive or loud, instead, it was almost eerie. The aircraft accelerated smoothly, producing only a soft electrical hum as it rose. Reports from testing monitors indicated that the aircraft was harvesting more than 30% of its energy needs during level flight. While that number can't support total energy independence, it demonstrated something critical. The plane doesn't rely on external power during cruise. Observers noted that the aircraft flew longer than Maxwell's published specs suggested, meaning the regenerative systems were working in real time. A few aviation journalists, skeptical at first, admitted that this was the first time they had seen regenerative airflow used in such a practical and continuous manner. Meanwhile, social media exploded with videos captioned, "Is this the end of jet fuel?" And Big Oil must be terrified. The global aviation sector consumes millions of barrels of jet fuel daily. Even a modest reduction in fuel dependency, say 15%, could reshape entire financial ecosystems tied to petroleum. That's why Maxwell's reveal triggered instant reactions from analysts. Maxwell's aircraft isn't replacing all jet-fueled planes tomorrow, but it represents a new direction in aviation, one that reduces long-term reliance on fossil fuels. For Big Oil, even the suggestion of scalable energy recapture systems in commercial or cargo aircraft is a warning sign of future disruption. Countries already aiming to meet aggressive carbon reduction targets might embrace Maxwell's technology faster than predicted. And if a few major airlines adopt it and cut fuel purchases even slightly, the ripple effect could be enormous. The fear isn't that this one plane will dethrone fossil fuels. It's that this is the first domino in a line of innovations that eventually make oil-powered aviation outdated. While hype around Maxwell's self-powered claims surged, experts quickly pointed out practical challenges. First, the aircraft still requires external power for takeoff, rapid ascent, and long-haul operations. Regenerative systems help mid-flight, but they can't sustain full performance indefinitely. Second, graphene battery technology is still extremely expensive and not yet scalable to commercial fleets. Third, integrating solar panels over an entire aircraft body raises concerns about durability and long-term maintenance. And finally, global aviation regulations move slowly. Before any airline can adopt these systems, Maxwell must undergo years of safety testing and certification. Still, even critics admit, this is the closest any company has come to turning the idea of self-powered flight into something physically demonstrable. The limitations are real, but so is the progress. After the airshow, Maxwell released statements hinting at future plans. Their next prototype, internally codenamed Project Helios, aims to push regenerative efficiency beyond 50%, a threshold that could drastically reduce the aircraft's dependence on ground charging. They're also negotiating with two major airlines, though. Names have not been confirmed, to begin trial programs for regional routes. Even if these trials involve short flights, the symbolic impact would be enormous. The first commercial operations by an aircraft that generates power as it flies. What really excites analysts is the scalability. Maxwell's technology isn't limited to passenger planes. Cargo aircraft, high-altitude drones, and even military surveillance craft could benefit from regenerative energy systems. For countries investing heavily in sustainable aviation, Maxwell's innovation may become a cornerstone of future infrastructure. Whether Maxwell becomes the next aviation giant or remains a niche innovator, their UAE Airshow presentation marks a turning point. Aviation won't remain the same after this moment, and neither will the global energy conversation.